Later on, after I had met Maharaj, I told Maurice, "Whatever you say is absolutely true. I can feel Bhagavan's presence in Nisargadatta's presence. The teaching of Bhagavan comes from him spontaneously." Maurice always used to encourage me, saying, "Come on, and narrate to me the dialogue that you had with Maharaj." Being a spiritual seeker, associating with sages and saints will deepen your understanding. It will help you go deeper and directly experience the truth. Reading improves only intellectual understanding. This experience-oriented understanding will happen whether you have understood it or not, only in the presence of realized masters. Saying this, Maurice encouraged me to go to Maharaj as often as possible. I was unable to be with Maurice Frydman in his last days, but I was happy to understand from a devotee of Bhagavan, who was also Nisargadatta Maharaj's devotee, that Bhagavan himself looked after him. The devotee told me about a nurse in Mumbai who normally charged a huge fee for her services. It seems this nurse had a dream in which a sadhu wearing only a loincloth told her very clearly, "My devotee is suffering. Go and attend on him." This sadhu who came in the dream also gave her precise directions to reach Maurice's residence. The nurse went to the place described in the dream the next day and found Maurice Frydman in bed. The other attendant, Miss Pettit, was older than Maurice, and she too was a bit helpless and needed attention. The nurse immediately offered her services. Maurice's austere attitude would not allow him to accept her services, and so he refused. Disappointed, the nurse was leaving the room when she saw a picture of Bhagavan there. She turned to Maurice and exclaimed, "This is the sadhu who appeared in my dream." Maurice, visibly moved, said, "So, my master has come to look after me." The nurse served him till the end. Appa Pant, who looked upon Maurice as his guru, was present during Maurice's last days. And so I quote Appa's own words, which he wrote about that time. "The sage is dying," whispered a soft voice over the phone from Mumbai. "The sage is asking for you. Appa, come as soon as you can." When I arrived, Miss Pettit, the doctor, and the nurse complained to me that Maurice was refusing to eat and take medicine. They implored me to take Maurice and force him to eat and take medicine, as if anyone could make Maurice do anything that he did not want to do. There Maurice lay in his familiar room, with everything meticulously clean and in its proper place. As I approached him reverentially, he shouted, "Appa, who is dying?" The next day, he drove everyone out of the room, ordering them to leave him alone with me. Then he said beautifully, "Appa, I hear music. I see the bright light. Who dies? No one is dying. This diseased body is keeping me away from that harmonious beauty. Do not let them keep me in this body. Go now in peace." The next day we were all at his bedside as he breathed his last, the 3 last breaths, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, and he was gone. Nisargadatta Maharaj was also at his bedside, so I asked the master, "Maharaj, where is Maurice going?" What is happening to him? And Maharaj replied, nothing is happening. No one is dying, for no one is born. Then I asked Maharaj, then why do I feel this sorrow, this emptiness and loss? Maharaj graciously turned to me and said, who is feeling the sorrow? Who is feeling the emptiness? Who is it that is feeling the loss? I remained silent. Within hours, in the presence of Nisargadatta Maharaj, the remains of what we called Maurice Frydman were consumed in the fire. The remains had returned to their original order. The great devotee, Maurice Frydman, had returned to the source, Arunachala. Once I went to Nisargadatta Maharaj's house because he had asked me to stay with him. I stayed there for 8 days. In the morning, from 8 to 10, he would ask me to be seated while he did puja. There were photographs of saints such as Ramakrishna Paramahansa, the Buddha, Jesus Christ, Ramana Maharshi, and yes, even one of Maurice Frydman, and they were in Nisargadatta's room. Maharaj would apply sandal, paste, and vermilion powder and perfume to the photographs and garland them. As he was doing this ritual one day, I was asking myself, why is he doing this? And just at that moment, he turned to me and said in a compassionate tone, Maurice Frydman was a jnani. He was a sage, a saint. This is undeniably true. Maurice Frydman has blessed us all by bringing to us the essence of the teachings of Ramana Maharshi and Nisargadatta Maharaj. How fortunate we are to be able to share the life of such a great one who did amazing things but wanted to remain unnoticed and unseen. So much so that the first edition of the Maharshi's Gospel, compiled by Maurice, did not even bear his name. We sincere seekers of truth must cling to him in our heart.